Hey guys, it's Becky. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited for today's video because if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you would know that I have been really working on focusing on slower living, being more intentional with my life, being more intentional with my to-do list, and protecting my time and my priorities. I've already posted 2 videos about slow living. I did one a few weeks ago, which was, I believe, 6 tips that you can start right now. You can take any or all of them to help to take back your time, unbusy your life a little bit, calm a little bit of the chaos, and really focus on being more intentional, getting more done, and doing more of what you want with the people that you want. So make sure you check that video if you haven't seen it. I also did a video that I actually just filmed about what is slow living and what are some of the benefits of it and why I am at this point in my life where I am focusing more on living more slowly and intentionally, like what led me to this place and why it might be something that you would want to implement in your own life. But I love to-do lists. I love being productive. I love, I don't want to be overly scheduled, but I like having places to go within moderation. So that part of me, when I think about slow living, I'm like, how would I do that? I still have a family and a home to take care of. We still have places to go. I still have to homeschool my daughter. I still work at home. You know, we have other places we have to do and commitments that we have. And I feel like the other part of me says, you can't live slowly because you're too busy to do that. So today I'm sharing with you 5 things that you can do even when you are a little bit busy, but that you can be proactive and be a little bit more planned and scheduled so that you are minimizing the stress and the chaos and the busyness and the craziness that sometimes we feel when we have a lot going on. So the first thing to calm the busyness in my life and focus more on slow living is to put less on my to-do list. So it sounds counterintuitive to put less on your to-do list when you've got a lot to do, but now is really the time that I need to focus on what has to get done versus adding a bunch of things that maybe I would like to get done or that need to get done at some point. They don't have to get done today. They don't have to get done this week. And if they don't have to get done today or this week, I am not putting them on my list. I am only putting things on my list that are my top priority items that I know have to get done, my non-negotiables. Understanding the difference between things that have to get done and things that need to get done at some point is a huge deal and will save you so much stress and heartache when you're sitting down to make a daily to-do list or a weekly to-do list, because you're going to be able to really figure out, like, these things can get done. I will get to these things later. Right now, I'm focused on these things that I have to get done no matter what. Another thing I try to do all the time, no matter whether I've got a busy week or not, and I've tried to express this upon my oldest daughter now that she's got a job and she's having to be places at a certain time, is overestimate the amount of time it will take you to do something and also the amount of time that it will take you to get somewhere. That's a huge deal for me because I end up finding that a lot of things that I think are going to take a long time and seem mentally overwhelming to me, they don't often take that long. So it's a good thing. If I plan an hour to clean the kitchen and I need to get it clean, I've got to get it clean, you know, somebody's coming or something like that. If I think it's going to take me an hour, but it only takes me 30 minutes, that means that I've got that 30-minute buffer where I'm not rushing around stressing out, or I'm not doing something at the last minute and just barely getting done before somebody comes over. Or if she's got to get to work, don't wait till 5 or 10 minutes before you have to be there already to leave the house. You know, I have told her, especially now that I'm driving her, we leave the house 20 minutes before you're supposed to be at work. That way, she's not rushing into work at the last minute, you know, throwing stuff down and starting her day off in chaos and hurry. And I'm not feeling rushed and hurried when I'm driving her there and stressing out about, you know, the person that's in front of me going really slow or getting stuck at the red light. It causes me a lot less stress, because I've got that buffer built in there. And so that, I think, is super important, is to overestimate the amount of time it's going to take you to get somewhere or to do something, complete a task, because then you'll find you actually have a little bit of breathing room in those things, and that feeling of chaos doesn't creep up as much or at all when you've got that buffer built into your day. My third tip for slow living during a busy time or a busy week is to get up early. There are seasons of my life, there's actually down to the day, certain days that I need to get up earlier, and other days that I can sleep in. And I've got older kids, you know, they're 12 and 18, so we're beyond the ages of having to get up at like the crack of dawn. So I've definitely had different times in my life where I've had to get up earlier, times that we could sleep in longer, or days that I have to get up earlier, or days that I can sleep in longer. And that's okay, but when I have a particularly busy day or a particularly busy week, that is going to be the time that I'm going to want to set my alarm a little bit earlier so that, again, kind of like the other tip about not rushing, when I am up before everybody else, I'm able to start the day out at my own pace. I'm not starting it, 0 to 60. I'm not starting it just as soon as my alarm goes off, like with the same time as the kids. I'm not trying to get up and like with everybody else up at the same time and people tripping over other people and trying to fix breakfast and get out the door. I'm not doing that. I've started my day out on my own terms and at my own time, and that way I'm able to get a little bit of a jump on the day. I fought getting up early because I'm not a morning person. It's just not my nature. But I have learned over the years, first of all, going to bed is a huge deal. Going to bed at a decent time, which I was not doing before, really helps me to get up in the morning, not just easier, but also more naturally. I find my body will wake up more naturally earlier because I'm putting it to bed earlier. And so I'm able to get up and be productive or have that quiet time, however you choose to spend it. But I think getting up early when you need to can be really helpful to not only be productive, but it mentally is a lot more relaxing when you are already up and you are ready for the day. You have told the day how you're going to control it, not the other way around. My fourth tip, kind of going back to the morning time routine, is if I have a particularly busy day or week, I really try to get up in the mornings and spend some of that time before everybody else is awake getting my workout done. Working out to me is very important, and even though I have over the last 9 years had ebbs and flows of like finding trouble with motivation, which I think is natural, it's still important to me, and to me working out is one of my top tier like priorities. So it's really important to me to get it done, and if I know I've got a really busy day or I have to be somewhere around the time that I normally work out, then I like to try to get up in the morning when I'm up early to go ahead and get my workout done. That way I have already set that time aside. I've made it a priority. I've got it done. I don't have to worry later on about, man, I'm too busy or I can't do this right now. I'll push it later and then later and later. And next thing you know, later never comes. And my last tip for how to handle busy weeks and still practice slower living is to meal plan. I've always meal planned even before I've been on this slower living journey, but I think it's especially important to help you kind of, again, dictate your time, pre-plan your week. It doesn't take that much time to meal plan, even whether you do it for a week or a whole month. I do it 1 week at a time, but meal planning what meals we're going to have, making that one grocery trip where you get everything you need for the week, and then you have everything that you need in your house to make meals for the entire week. And also along with that, for me, one of my biggest rules is cook once and eat twice. So I will cook as I'm meal planning a meal for one day, and then I know I make enough for the next day. So I'm only having to technically cook every other day, and that really helps me save time. It helps us save money. It helps us stay on track with our health goals and nutrition and things like that. So many benefits of meal planning, whether you are on a slow living journey or not, but it definitely helps to play into that because you're not spending, chaotic time at dinner trying to figure out what you're going to make or defrost something or running out to get a pizza. You're eliminating that dinner time chaos because you sat down for 5 or 10 minutes one time a week and you have planned out everything that you are going to be making, and you're getting all of your groceries. Grocery pickup is your best friend. And you've just saved yourself a lot of stress and chaos. So those are my 5 best tips for how to practice slow living even when your days or your weeks or your life in general is busy. I think we all have different seasons in our life where things are busier than others, especially if you have kids, that never tends to like die down completely, but there's definitely seasons when things are busier than others. So I think it's really important to do whatever you can to be proactive in your own life and protect your time, protect your priorities, but also giving yourself grace that you can't do everything. You cannot be everything to everybody. You can't be everywhere for everybody. You really have to make sure that you're giving yourself grace and making sure that you're also taking time for rest. That is a really hard one for me because I'm the type of person that I feel like I need to be doing something productive all the time. But I'm trying really hard to make sure that I'm scheduling time for rest, mental rest and physical rest. So for example, after this video, I am going to change my clothes and me and my family are going for a nature hike at a local park. Something we very rarely do. We very rarely make the time for because we usually have a lot to do, especially when my husband's off. We usually tend to like schedule all the stuff that we want to do or need to do when he's home. But that can cause a lot of chaos. It can cause a lot of stress. It puts a lot of pressure on those days that he is off. And definitely is not relaxing or restful for anybody. So I'm trying really hard to incorporate that more into our life, even though it's not my nature. It is not my nature to do things slowly. It is not my nature to rest. But I'm trying really hard to retrain myself because I know it's important, and I have seen already some of the benefits that have come from it that I'm excited and encouraged to keep learning and keep adding into my life and keep challenging myself to do. And hopefully you guys will follow me along on this journey. If you want to see more slow living videos, I've got tons of ideas. So if you're interested in more videos along this concept, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments that you do want to see more videos like this, and maybe even some suggestions that you have. I would love any ideas you guys have to share with me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.